everyone. So, as those of you who've been here for 4 weeks now, along with anyone who's been avidly watching our YouTube channel, which I'm sure is most of you, so as you'll know, I normally say a few words at things like this, and generally speaking, I like to keep it quite brief, because I think that by this point in the proceedings, you've all had enough of my voice to last you a lifetime. But tonight is a little bit different, so I just hope that you'll let me have my moment for the next couple of minutes. In the usual run of things, I begin by making some general remarks about this year's course. But this time I'd like to look back to OSA 2016. Because a few days ago, while I was manically refreshing my email inbox waiting to see whose parents were going to give them permission to go to London, I got an email through my inbox from one of last year's students. I think, Anna, you may have taught her creative writing. Abby Wells came to us from the States for 4 weeks last year and took every English course we could possibly offer. Oxford had a citywide shortage of English tutors because everyone was teaching Abby. And a year on, this is what she had to say to herself, so I'm just going to read her email. She's given me permission. As I see all of the OSA pictures on Facebook, we're on Facebook, I'm quite nostalgic, and I cannot believe it has been a year since I was there myself. I wanted to thank you again for all the work you and your staff put into making the OSA experience so unforgettable. I will be attending Brown University this fall, and I have recently learned from my contact in Brown's admissions office that a primary reason for my admission to Brown was the essay I wrote about my time at OSA. A year ago, I had no idea the opportunities I would have as a result of my 4 weeks in Oxford, and I am beyond grateful for the experience. Best wishes, Abby. She also asked if you lot were as nice as they were, but I didn't answer. And that email, things like that, are why I've always done this job, because I think what this course has always offered is academic and cultural excellence, providing brilliant young people with the scope to grow and thrive as individuals. And the academic accomplishments you've shared, as Abby's email has shown, even though they've only been over the last 2 or 4 weeks, they're not tied to your time in Oxford. What you've achieved through hard work and dedication, along with a huge amount of support from one another and from our staff, will last you a lifetime, I can guarantee it. And I hope that very much that in a year's time I'll be receiving messages like Abby's from all of you. Because we get a few of those each year, and not everyone stays in touch, but we appreciate when people do. And that message in particular means a lot to me, because I've decided very recently that this year will be my last year working on the Oxford Summer Academy. Over the past 6 years, I've worked with, I think, and I was counting, those of you that were coming in and out of my office today, I was trying to work it out, I think 389 students from over 40 countries. And I've been inspired by all of them. By now, some of them will have graduated from university and entered the workplace. When we were on our trip to Cambridge, I actually bumped into someone who just finished her classics degree at Downing College, who was here in 2014. And others like you will be just preparing themselves for the next exciting stages in their academic careers. And as this course draws to a close, I feel that the time's come for me to do the same. As a lot of you know, I'm still working on a PhD, and I've always been an academic at heart, and I think it's about time that I maybe step back. I've done what I can here, and I think it's time for me to focus on my books. So while I have you all here, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all of the people who've collectively ensured that the last 6 years have been a constant pleasure and never a chore. So Jen Deere, who you all will have been in contact with, Kim Terrer at OIC, and Mario Peters, who came in for the Future Considerations lecture. I'd like to thank them all for their faith in me, for supporting me as managers, and for giving me complete free rein over this course. I mean, honestly, no one ever asks what I'm doing with all of you. It's lovely. And that kind of free rein could never have happened had I not been safe in the knowledge that our vision of academic excellence would be upheld by a fantastic team of tutors. And I'm so pleased that some of you were here tonight. Christine and Matt, I think we go right back to the early days. We weren't even in the building we're in now while we were running this course. And others, Anna, Alison, Liz, Patricia, Tom, have I missed anyone? Everyone's here? Yeah. They're more recent recruits to our Merry Band, but they've been excellent too. And so I'd like to thank them and all of the tutors who weren't able to join us tonight for the unparalleled passion and enthusiasm you bring to teaching your subjects, and your students and I know will always be extremely grateful. ENTS team members, old and new, some of them have, they earn more money than me now because they left. I don't know where I'd be without your tireless commitment to counting heads on excursions, buying all the strawberries we can lay our hands on, photocopying reams and reams of course material, often at very short notice, tutors. And of course also ensuring that our students are just as enriched by the social and cultural programme as they are by its academic counterpart, and it has been a real pleasure working with all of you. Leslie, what can I say I haven't said already? Well, nothing, because we talk all the time. So perhaps I'll leave it to our good friend Rupert Brooke. This is from one of his letters. I know what things are good, friendship and work and conversation. These I shall have. These we have always had, and even though our work might be about to finish, I've no doubt that the friendship and conversation will be forthcoming for quite some time yet. So thank you for everything. Now, all of these people have done exceptional things for me, but more importantly, they've worked an awful lot of magic for all of you. So please, could you join me in thanking them for the invaluable contribution. Most of all, I want to thank you, the students, all 389 of you, but especially for the purposes of tonight, the 37 of you who are here before me. Over the last 2 or 4 weeks, I've taken real delight in watching you all flourish. From a rather timid bunch who are more interested in looking at a phone screen than looking one another in the eye, to a very tight-knit group of self-assured individuals, always quick to share new experiences, help one another come to terms with the challenges of life and study in Oxford, always very keen to push that 11 p.m. curfew just that little bit further. Together you've explored exciting and often quite damp new places, tried testing new subjects, moved beyond your comfort zones into the, what do we call it, the stretch zone, or the learning zone, or the fear zone, or the panic zone. You've moved into all the zones, very admirably. Some of you have even proved yourselves particularly adept at punting, although boys, I'm not talking about any of you. Sarah is queen of the river, as we know. Now, all of these experiences, I hope, will give you a host of memories that will last you well beyond your departure tomorrow. I'm fairly certain that none of us will be forgetting any of you in a hurry. So congratulations on a fantastic 2 weeks. I wish you all the luck in the world, in the future, and in those immortal words of my main man, William Shakespeare. I'm sure you're all big fans of him by now. Thanks, and ever thanks. Thank you.